Aliens exist. We've confirmed it. Okay, but it costs $10 for blueberries. Blueberry. Are the aliens going to pay my rent? There's a housing crisis, Mark. We're past the point of reversing climate change. The earth is boiling. People are dying. And this is why nobody gives a flying fuck about these aliens.
The United States is unusually narrow in the spectrum of opinion that appears. I mean, what we call liberals here, you know, when the conservatives say the press is too liberal, they're referring to people who would be called sort of center-right in much of the world. For example, have you heard of a socialist commentator in the United States? You know, in most countries of the world, well, yeah, the intellectuals are mostly socialists. In the United States, it's inconceivable. You know, no columnist can say I'm a socialist. You know, people would think he's crazy. You know, well, what does that mean? You know, so the whole thing here is skewed very far to the right. That's because this is really the business society. Business is very class conscious. It's fighting a class war constantly and very consciously, and it's won major battles. It's one reason why the United States has such weak unions as compared with other industrial societies, and why the United States is the only major industrial country without a labor party, or with no health insurance. You know, we're kind of off the spectrum as far as the industrial democracies go.
I wrote a queer ska anthem because there was a severe lack of one.
By the CIA, they put a chip in my brain.
Ever since I posted that video and the one about the Jakarta method, I've gotten so many book recommendations, so I thought that I would share them with you. So if you are somebody that also likes to read about the CIA and all the shitty things they do, here you go.
If Indigenous lives matter, why won't you search the landfill? Families are mourning the loss of their loved ones. What if that was your sister, your daughter, your mother, your auntie, your cousin? How would you feel? Because I'm sure that you would want some action to be taken. I'm sure you wouldn't sit by and do nothing. So if Indigenous lives matter, search the landfill. Help to bring peace. I stand with these family members, these community members. Miigwech.
If I watch you perform a play and I say you did good, the meaning in context is identical to you did well. I've never been confused about what somebody meant by good or well. But saying you did good can get me ostracized, excluded from jobs, and judged as unintelligent. People who say you did good are not less intelligent or less capable than people who say you did well. It just means they grew up talking that way. Saying they have to change just adds an unnecessary barrier to their success because you can understand them perfectly fine. When we judge people for their grammar, we replace actual merit with a cultural indicator. It doesn't predict intelligence or increase understanding. All it does is predict a person's relationship with the dominant culture. Either they grew up talking that way, got taught to talk that way, or wanted to learn to talk that way so that they could be accepted by people who talk that way. None of that has anything to do with intelligence. There are hundreds of ways to speak American English. None of them are better than others. I've never heard a person speak English to me in a grammatical structure that I could not understand. The fact that a standard English purist can hear a statement that they understand perfectly fine and then tell the speaker that their grammar was wrong lets you know that it's about power, not comprehension. Think about how often people brag about not understanding other English dialects and then insist that the problem is those other people. Since when is it a flex not to understand somebody who understands you? Since when does that make you smarter? You hear me speak and understand me and tell me I'm wrong for not using a grammatical structure deemed acceptable by the elite of this country. And that's what so many people mean by articulate. And if that's the case, I'd rather talk good than speak well.
I will work for you till my hands are tired and bleeding. I know what it is from us I'm needing. I will work for you like a team of mules pulling hell off from its hinges. It's a love that I'll keep tending. I will work for you. We were never made to run forever. We were just meant to go long enough.
Here's what politicians looked like when they were young. Here's Mitch McConnell now.
And this is him as a boy, playing in a segregated soccer league. In this photo, he's committing his very first hate crime on a minority. And lastly, we see young Mitch falling in love with trickle-down economics.
Get up, cocksuckers, it's all over. Listen, we had a rough couple of months. Fucking Katrina's cousin.
Only for women. Like, if you're a guy and you're wearing a skirt, understand, dude, you look gay as
I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning. God, I can't fucking make my mind work. Son of a bitch! Jesus Christ. Fuck!
Community fridges are not beautiful by accident. Oftentimes we reach out to local artists for help transforming fridges into more than just functional objects. They become vibrant, eye-catching pieces of public art.
Africa is dangerous. Africa is dangerous. Oh my God, don't visit Africa, you're going to die. But your people are here chilling. They are here chilling and enjoying their lives. No, don't visit Africa. Africa is very dangerous. Yeah.